We're back on the mile and a halves from Las Vegas for the Pennzoil 400. Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR Heat 5 career mode here in Season 5. Hope you're all having a great day. We're excited for this one. I love my mile and a half racing, and we have an exciting star driver in the field this weekend, Travis Pastrana. He's out here making a Cup Series start for Front Row Motorsports from this Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Very excited to see how he can get on this weekend. But the focus, of course, being on myself and this target number 8. We are coming off of some ups and downs, and of course winning 2 back-to-back races already this season from Bristol and Sonoma. We've gotten a short track, we've gotten a road course out of the way. I would love to be able to go and get now a mile and a half out of the way. Last episode we went, of course, to Richmond, where we really struggled. Things didn't quite work out the way we would have hoped. And we as well saw Connor Zilish kind of get a little bit of payback on myself, knocked me out of the way early on in that Richmond race, which I would say was quite deserved for myself to receive from him. And overall, we came up again just short of a top 10. We have only finished in the top 10 2 times this season, and it was both times for our wins at Sonoma as well as Bristol. Overall, here in practice, feeling quite good about the car. Some notable drivers facing certainly some struggles early on in this season that we're actually going to highlight early on in the race here now. But overall, I was, like I said, quite satisfied, quite happy with where we were in practice. So brought it back to the pits and called it a day here and got ready for some qualifying now, where I'm confident we can at least qualify top 20. That's always usually really the goal when it comes to a 1.5 mile track. So as we come through to kick things off here now for qualifying, we're gonna of course rip it right to the bottom in both 1 and 2, 3 and 4, as well as we dive down now into turn 1 and kind of missing the white line. We eventually get down there, but maybe not as soon as I wanted, and then I really struggled to open up the throttle on the exit, so a little bit slow on both ends of the corner. Through 3 and 4, I felt pretty good. I do tap the apron right there, but that's not going to really hurt us too much, and maybe because you use a bit more throttle on the exit, but not a big deal. A 31.404 is the goal. We hit a 31.069. That puts us P15. Quite happy and satisfied with that result, to say the least, and we'll see the rest of your qualifying order. Our teammate of Hocevar right there in front of us in the 14th spot, but Tyler Reddick and his 23.11 teammate Ryan Blaney on the front row over Briscoe, Larson, Gibbs, and rounding out the top 10 is how about Brent Cruz and then Shane Van Gisbergen, rounding out the top 20, Corey Heim, who really needs to step up here, as you see Pastrana in 25th. All the way at the bottom of the grid though, Ryan Priest and Sheldon Creed in the field for Colleague Racing. Jesse Love down there behind his teammate of Austin Hill, as well as Haley running in 37th. We had Truck Series and the Prime Series in action. Josh Williams won at Las Vegas over Lawless Allen, Daniel Hemrick, Majeski, and Tanner Gray. You see the rest of your finishing order on your screen. So another new winner on the Truck Series side of things to go into the playoffs now, as that field tightens quickly in the playoffs with the limited drivers you can have in the playoff for the Truck Series. In the Prime Series, Andres Perez picks up his first Xfinity, I said it, his first Prime win, his first Amazon Prime win for Perez. How about that? He will put himself in the playoffs as well, as he is expected to make a Cup Series start sometime this season as one of the up-and-coming prospects. Let's head to Sunday, Cup Racing in Vegas.
We're here in Las Vegas to see Travis Pastrana and the rest of the field tackle this mile and a half oval. Brad, most importantly, how's your driver in the 6 car doing?
Christian is doing well, Mike. He's recovering fast and could be in the car as soon as next week.
Right, guys, I love this track. I don't see why we can't be up front here today as this race goes on. Let's have fun.
We'll be good on the long run, so just be patient today.
We're ready to go racing then. As you can see, Logano well prepared for this race, but they're going to have to go through Tyler Reddick, who's been winless for over a season. Injury last season. Can he bounce back like we've seen other drivers do the season following a big injury? We're ready to go racing here behind Byron and our teammate of Hocevar. Green flag is out. We're racing from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Last episode winner Alex Bowman lines up just behind us there, a few rows back as we kick things off. We're on the inside of that 00. Connor Zilish there as the 45 and the 23-11 of Reddick and Blaney lead the way, and their other teammate Corey Heim all the way at the back as we're getting aggressive right off the bat, 3 wide, forcing it on Chastain, putting him in the middle between myself and the 24 of that Exalted Cadillac as we dive down into turn 3. How about that 31 of Brent Cruz, Rookie of the Year contender, up here in the mix early on, but you can tell that maybe the RCR speed is starting to lack. We saw them start off strong with at least Jesse Love, but he has now been fading as these last few races have gone on, and he starts outside of the top 30 today. Reddick still leads over Blaney, who's looking to his inside. We're already into the top 10, passing Shane Van Gisbergen. Ryan Blaney to the point here, 27 laps in stage 1. We're already into the top 10. The question is, can we continue that? And I mentioned we were going to talk about some drivers that have been struggling early on in this season. Some notables: Ryan Blaney, 17th in the standings, not necessarily where he wants to be. William Byron finds himself 20th in the standings. Kyle Larson, 22nd, only one top 10 on the season for him. My teammate of Hosafar in 23rd as well. Even further down, Ty Gibbs and Joey Logano, 29th and 30th. Way down the order in the points. A terrible start to the season for both of those drivers, as well as Corey Heim down in 37th. So some names there that need to step it up. Joey Logano, we know, has got it in him. He was going to be originally retiring this season. His plans changed as the season caught fire, and Ryan Blaney announced he was leaving, and now here he is 30th in the points. So he is running good today, though, so watch out for that 22. And as well, who's running good? Chastain. He's going forward, and I just can't hold him back. And immediately I'm realizing we don't have the pace to win this race likely. We're going to have to get creative as well. Alex Bowman to my inside, and that number 19 Ally Toyota Camry, oh so strong. In Richmond, we knew he had good speed. I didn't really think he had a car capable of winning. I felt like more of a top 5 kind of car he had, and overall he was able to manage that last run the best and take the win and hold off Chase Elliott again. Elliott, 2 second place finishes early on in this season after that last lap scrap. They had that back and forth here. Now as 2 Joe Gibbs drivers in victory lane this season, as Hendrick Motorsports still seeking their first win, but we're down to P11, not exactly where we want to be on lap 11 of 27 in stage 1. Ryan Blaney still out in front right now, but we continue to fight back on this inside. We know as these laps go on, my car is going to continue to get better compared to the cars around us, so that is something I was keeping in mind. My crew chief told me as well in the pre-race that was going to be the situation. That's always pretty well the situation when it comes to Las Vegas, kind of just waiting for the car to kick in. But I lost a lot more time on a short run than I usually lose here in Las Vegas, so that was something that was certainly in the back of my mind now as we're to the inside of the 20 of Christopher Bell, your Atlanta Super Speedway winner, as we come through the tri-oval across the stripe with 15 to go in the stage. We're not far away from pit stops. You only got about 19 or so laps of fuel in a fuel tank here. You can maybe stretch it to 20 laps if you're lucky, but that would be with saving involved as well. So we'll clear the 20 and we'll get to the inside of the 1 of Chastain on the run into turn 3. We'll clear that Busch Light Honda Civic for Trackhouse Racing. So taking P9 from Chastain as we focus now in on the 19 of Alex Bowman as we come through this tri-oval, and actually moving up the racetrack here, trying to make some things happen as Joey Logano has now taken the lead of this race now as we'll look to the inside of this number 19 Ally Toyota. To turn 3 now, we get even alongside him, but he's going to fight back. He's got that momentum on the outside, and pit stops are about to kick off as well, but that outside's got some good momentum, and it makes passing on the inside a bit more tricky when that AI driver's ready to, put it up towards the wall or just even up a groove like Bowman did. He didn't even go close to the wall, but as soon as I jump up here, I'm able to build up some decent momentum. But pit stops kicking off now. I got 1 lap of fuel, so we're going to stretch it 1 additional lap. Logano pits from the lead. Ty Gibbs takes over the lead. Bowman dives in. Chastain as well, and everybody pretty well around us, but a few others. Only 3 of us and 3 drivers in front of us have remained on the racetrack. So we will pit right here at the end of lap 20 as I actually start running out of fuel as we come through the center of 3 and 4. So obviously we could not have gone any further. So you can't even stretch it a full 20 laps without at least starting to run out of fuel. So we're going to make some adjustments, and mainly loosening up the car was what I was looking for. So So a minor grill tape adjustment, a minor wedge adjustment as well. It's going to equate to a 15 flat second pit stop time as we'll exit here just behind there. You see Travis Pastrana making a stop, but we're just behind Elliott and a few others now. Larson's in front of that group with Reddick as well. There goes Joey Logano, who will probably retake the lead. Ryan Blaney as well. Can he get up to that group? I think it's going to be Larson and Elliott settling into second and third as Ryan Blaney's just exiting too. Here goes the 48 of Caruth as well into P6. So we dropped to P7, and then Tyler Reddick, actually, he was not in that group in front of me. He's right here. So Reddick is going to pass us now into turn 1 with just a handful of laps to go in stage 1. Look at the track map. Joey Logano has found himself engulfed in lap traffic, so this is not going to be easy for Logano, holding off a Larson as well as an Elliott, who have got fresher tires by only about a lap or two as we go through to these final couple of laps in stage number 1. And Ty Dillon there in the number 16, he's way off the pace, and he's going to actually block us down the straightaway. And just when I thought I might have a chance to pass the 45, that chance is gone as Dillon gets in the way. Actually give him a shot there to the bumper as he slides a little bit through 3 and out of turn 4 into P8. Still we maintain now with 2 laps to go on the stage, but as we come to the final lap now down the SPAC straightaway, Logano held up by traffic. He's going to give up the lead to the 9 of Elliott, and he's even going to give up second to Kyle Larson as they exit 4. And they continue to fight in traffic, as so do I, as you can see with the 3 of Austin Hill, who's running horrifically down here in 38th. But it's going to be Elliott and Larson first, second. Logano drops to third. So Chase Elliott exits 4 down the front stretch. Chase Elliott is going to come through to win stage 1 right there behind Sammy Smith. Larson right on the bumper of Elliott. Actually, Logano jumped to 4th as Gibbs was even able to get past that 22 at the end. So that's a disappointing stage end for Joey Logano, who was originally looking like he was going to win the stage. Caruth in 5th, Blaney, Reddick, myself, Chastain, Alex Bowman, your top 10 for stage points there. And we're going to take a wedge adjustment there, 49.9. Josh Berry filling in for the injured Christian Eckes in 14th. Not a bad run at all there, as SVG 15th, Hocevar 16th. Travis Pastrana inside the top 20. Kyle Busch having a rough day in 27th place, and Bubba Wallace not looking great either. We gain 1 spot in the pits. We overtake the 45 of Tyler Reddick as we'll get ready to go back racing here from Las Vegas. Stage 2 underway now, as we are going to be right on that back of that overstock Cadillac 48 of Rajah Caruth now. Hendrick Motorsports still looking for their first win of this 5th season of the NASCAR Heat 5 career mode. Chase Elliott leads away. I get aggressive right off the bat, forcing it 3 wide. We've been just kind of hyping up and as well embracing the aggression all season, and we get after it as well on these restarts sometimes too now. As you see, the 48 put 3 wide in the middle, the 45 to the outside, the 23 to his inside. I got Logano on my outside, and we peek to the left rear of the 5 of Larson, who stays clear. It's Elliott, Gibbs, Larson coming through to start the opening laps of the stage. Logano will re-clear us down this front stretch. Up into 4th he goes as Ryan Blaney starts to put some pressure on the back of us as we roll through 1 and 2, kind of chasing the car up the track into the door of the 22, opening the other door wide open for Blaney, who looks up the inside. 22 of Logano gets clear again. Now we're under attack from the 23 of Blaney, who has something to prove with his new team. And now in our mirror you see Chastain looking to the inside of the 45 of Tyler Reddick now, and Reddick's got no choice but to back out of it as Chastain goes to my inside, and we continue to struggle in these early going laps of a run. I just don't understand where the lack of pace is coming from. This is not something that I usually encounter in Las Vegas. It is something that's happened before, but you know, usually I feel like we got top 5 speed. We can contend for the win as the run goes on. I don't think we're in that position today now. Some of these other cars are just simply too strong today here from Las Vegas in this Pennzoil 400 now, as we continue to, though, just try and keep these fights going. I don't want to give up these positions easily now, especially if we find some more pace as the run goes on. So Alex Bowman in my mirror, he is marching his way forward. Speaking of marching forward, Joey Logano back to the lead with 22 laps to go in stage 2. Crash in the back. That's the 60 of Justin Haley, who's going to go around all on his own through the trial. What looks to be a tire failure, and that's going to bring out caution number 1 for cause as we went green through all of the first stage. Austin Hill will get the free pass, and then number 3 for Richard Childress Racing, as he'll start at the tail end of the longest line and pretty much was already there to begin with, as we'll get ready for a restart now. Nobody pits, which is a bit surprising looking back on it, because I think you could have probably stretched it to the end of stage 2, but nonetheless, another caution could still come out. We'll get back racing, and we know we were able to kind of bring it to the end of about 20 laps, and we got 19 to go on the stage, so we definitely could have pitted and made it from there, but everyone kind of had the same idea. Let's stay out and go back racing. Now Chastain leaving the door open. Do we take it? Obviously we do. We'll put it 3 wide middle between the number 1 and the number 20 of Chastain and Bell down this back stretch, splitting the middle. Look at the speed using that draft from the number 5, nearly clear of Bell, not quite, so we leave the room for him on the inside. Chastain still looking to the right rear, but we'll finally clear him through the center of the corner, nearly up into the outside wall. They're having to lift a little bit on the exit of 4. Now here comes Tyler Reddick's Logano, continues to lead, and now the 48 of Carruth bringing himself back into the mix now. Of course, he's probably not the most thrilled with me after the way we forced him 3 wide on that restart as we exit 2. They'll look at the momentum you can get on that higher side now as we'll pull up right to the back of the 20 of Bell, and again we're forced now to kind of run this high side, so trying to make things work. But you know, usually when it comes to this track here in Las Vegas, going all the way up to the wall just doesn't really benefit you, so at least in NASCAR Heat 5, so I really don't want to go up there as Chase Elliott now takes the lead from the 22 of Joey Logano. It certainly seems like it's a Logano, Elliott, Larson show with maybe a bit of a Ryan Blaney element as well, who could maybe say something before this race is over, but we still got 15 laps to go. We're coming up on here at the stage 2 before, of course, it comes to an end. Even though we're running, you know, about 9th, 10th or so, I am having an absolute blast racing this track and racing the AI. I always just love racing AI here because, you know, they'll do this. They'll run the bottom, but then you'll have the cars venture up to the middle. Then you'll have cars venture up to the 3rd, 4th lane as well, and it's a lot of fun to race against these guys here as we continue to now march forward about halfway through stage 2, and the long run pace is starting to kick in this car, but it's still no easy feat as we're in this battle with Alex Bowman and kind of leaning on him a bit. It's going to open the door for Chastain as we exit turn 2. Now Chastain to my inside. We're 3 wide middle going down this back straightaway. Take a quick glance behind us and I see my Junior Motorsports teammate Noah Gregson on the way forward here as we'll get cleared by Chastain and Bowman as well, and Bell and Gregson right to the back of us as we come through to the lap 15 on this first couple of corners. You can see now trouble for the 48. Carruth blows an engine down the back straightaway, no caution. We stay green, and that gains us, what, 3 positions. We pass the 19 in the 1, and we pass the blowing up 48. Carruth, that early awful season luck that he had in his rookie season last season in Season 4, shows up here in Las Vegas. Carruth has not been treated well by this racetrack now, it feels like, as we continue on our own situation here, knowing that we very well might find ourselves in the pits without a caution here, and now actually the caution's gonna fly. The 43 now of William Sawalich blowing up, and the caution comes out for cause there, and now we'll get ready for a series of pit stops and of course a restart. But if the caution came out for that, why didn't the caution come out for the 48 blowing up a few laps prior is really what I would like to know. But obviously, you know, we talked about the race director last episode in Richmond with the questionable no caution as my teammate Carson Hocevar was sitting on the inside of the racetrack, stopped and stationary for, you know, over 10 seconds. But we'll get ready to go green behind the number 5 of Kyle Larson from P7. We're back racing here from Las Vegas again. It's a 6-lap sprint in stage 2 to decide who wins this one. Elliott won stage 1. However, Logano's in control again at the same point he was in stage 1. Can he at least hold on this time? There's not going to be any threat of lap traffic to worry about, so there's the major benefit for that 22 of Joey Logano as he goes down into turn 3 in control and bringing his former teammate now of Ryan Blaney into the conversation. He'll move through into second place. Hendrick teammates Larson, Elliott, both drivers made the final 4 last season. Now they're side by side. Elliott's had a way better start to the season than the number 5 has now as we dive down into turn number 1 to the inside of the 54 of Ty Gibbs, who has also had a terrible start to the season as we already highlighted, 29th in the standings. And that's been the thing, is we've had some wild races, we've had some wild tracks as well in the early portion of this season, and it's really made things, you know, it's put things all over the place, and I feel like it's going to take another, 4 or 5 races to really see where everybody is, because everyone's kind of starting to get in line and start running in their normal areas that we expect them to run in now. As I cross the bumper of the 45 of Tyler Reddick and clear him for P6, but he would fight back to my inside with 2 to go in the stage, and here comes my teammate again, Noah Gregson, showing up here in Vegas. Home race for Gregson in Vegas, and he is looking strong here today. Joey Logano still in the lead, but he's under pressure on this final lap from Ryan Blaney, who peeks to his inside as we're all the way up to the outside wall, having to lift a bit on the exit of 2, but clear enough as the 88 and the 1 battle side by side as we go down into turn 3. Logano covers the 23 of Ryan Blaney, and we talked about him being in 30th in points. It doesn't matter right now. He exits 4, and he's in control in Vegas. He wins stage number 2, and he is in great shape to maybe go on to win this race. We will pit after P7 in the stage. We'll make some more adjustments to the car, a lot of tire pressure changes, and overall really trying to, I was having a struggle trying to really figure out what I needed at this point in the race to have more speed. So I felt like I was kind of taking random swings at it at this point. Not the situation you want to find yourself in going into Stage 3, but it is what it is, and we're going to make do with what we can. Stage 3 underway. It's going to be 34 laps of racing, requiring 1 pit stop at some point, as we'll get ready for this last sprint here now on the inside of the 45. It's all or nothing for Logano, thinking about his 30th place in the points. He's lucky it's early in the year, but he would love to just, cancel all of that out and just get a win here in Las Vegas and be yet another new winner. We are so far the only repeat winner this season. Chase Elliott wants to become a new winner this season. He's to the inside of the 22 of Logano down this front straightaway through the tri-oval now, and you can see 33 laps to go. It's still the same situation we found ourselves in previously. Just don't quite have the speed that I need on the short run. These guys are driving by on my outside. I'm struggling to maintain. The top 3 drivers fighting right now are the top 3 of 4 most winningest active drivers in this career mode. Kyle Busch is at the top with 66 career wins and trying to hit 70 before his career comes to a close. Joey Logano, he has 36 wins, 1 more than Chase Elliott, who's at 35 career wins, and then Kyle Larson at 31. If you're wondering the next one below that, you got to go all the way to Christopher Bell at 19, then myself at 13 over Ryan Blaney at 12, Chastain at 11, and then actually Alex Bowman and William Byron round out the top 10 winningest drivers at 9 for Bowman, 8 for Byron, and as well Ty Gibbs is tied for that at 8. As you can see, we continue to struggle. Now to my outside goes the 88 of Noah Gregson, seeking his first win as a Cup Series driver. Well, it might not come today, but he is setting himself up well for this season, I think. Here he'll go around my outside now, and as well facing some pressure from Christopher Bell as we continue to struggle. But all in all, Joey Logano's gotten himself back out in front, and we talked about the wins. He's seeking win 37 of his Cup Series career now as we continue to fight with these guys to the inside of the 20 again of Bell, actually leaning on his door of my former teammate. That is now not exactly what I was trying to do, but we get aggressive and get after it a little bit here as we go back down into turn number 3, lap 66 at this point, and throttling up, can't quite clear him, and in an attempt to do that, we allow Chastain to the inside. I kind of did the next gen move where you just throttle up and try to force the guy up the track and make him back out. It did not quite work, so Bell is going to get by me, Chastain as well, and now pressure from the 19 of Alex Bowman as we continue fighting back to the inside of the 20. This is far from over with the pair of Joe Gibbs drivers now, former teammate and then the new driver that took over my ride, but I hit the apron, and we're gonna face the same situation again after hitting the apron this time. This time it wasn't me washing up because I was trying to, force an issue. That was just making an error, and unfortunately we dropped to P11. I'm sure Christopher Bell is probably not the biggest fan of me right now, but we continue to try and just engage in these battles. And that 20 car, we're going to eventually clear him. We clearly have the speed, and we would clear him through 3 and 4 as we come through to lap 69. It's still in control of the 22. Joey Logano is on it today. He has led the most laps now. Byron into the outside wall, and that's a big crash. Pastrana involved, and so is Jesse Love, and up and over goes the 24 off the nose of Bubba Wallace now, tumbling on his roof. Byron, massive exit in here from Vegas. Caution is out. It's not been a great day for the 24, and miraculously he's still in this race as we're going to see split strategy with 25 laps to go. we are going to stay on the racetrack. Byron's still in the race. He, of course, tumbled 17 times. He's going to continue racing. We are going to stay on the racetrack. Ryan Blaney's going to pit. Elliott's going to pit. You cannot make it if you pit now. We are Logano in last second is going to come into the pit. So Gibbs, Larson, Reddick are going to be your top 3. And everyone that just pitted cannot make it to the end of this race. They are going to be about 2 laps short, I would expect, when we go back green. Let's verify. Green flag is back out as 21 laps to go. So they're going to be really realistically a lap and a half, a lap and a quarter short to making it to the end of this race. Is it possible to save that much? Yes, but I don't really expect the AI to save that much. So about 3/4 of the field decided to stay out, and about 1/4 of the field decided to pit, and surprisingly it was the top 3 drivers all electing to come into the pits as well. Really did not expect to see that, as SVG is actually to my left side door right there as we exit turn 4. Shane Van Gisbergen still trying to return to victory lane. It's been over a season now. As we exit 4, we'll re-clear that 97. A couple of wins in his Cup Series career Shane Van Gisbergen has now as we exit turn 2 down this back straightaway. Chastain and Gregson vulnerable. 3 wide move there into turn 3. We got aggressive. We got after it, and I'm feeling confident as these tires, this is, these tires continue to get older. We know we're going to have the speed to compete with these guys around us that we couldn't compete with on the previous restart. So we got to take advantage, and we clear the 88 and the 1 through the strioval down into turn 1, up into 4th we go. But we are also thinking about, well, how do I pass these guys? And I know how we're going to pass these guys. We're going to pit a lap or 2, maybe 3 laps before they are expected to come into the pits. That will allow us to utilize the 4 fresh tires to open up the gap to them and hopefully leapfrog them all. So we're going to pit right now because we had about 5 laps of fuel left in the tank, and we actually are not going to get down to pit speed. We're going to speed by 6 miles per hour.
I'm sorry, guys. I sped.
That is the second time on the last stop of the day we have gotten a speeding penalty, the worst pit stop to get a speeding penalty in, and instead of a 15-second stop it turns into double 30.2. Our race is effectively over. Last time we got a speeding penalty we won, but that was a very different scenario with Sonoma. We are over. There's no really path to success unless there's some kind of miracle at this point. But yeah, that's obviously all on me. Just trying to get too much right there on pit entry. I'm notorious for speeding. I've done it so many times in not only NASCAR Heat, previous NASCAR games, iRacing. I love to speed. It's just something that's always plagued me, and it strikes here today. And oh my goodness, I hope that's not something that strikes if we're fighting for a championship in the Final Four, because it's a very real possibility. So, I mean, we've won 2 races. We're going for everything. There's not much to be too down about here because we've got those 2 race wins to go back on. We weren't probably going to win the race, so but I was doing what I could to try and put us in position to win the race here. As now we're going to run down some traffic. Now there's the 33 of Jesse Love. We'll pass him for position, but you see the damage. We're passing guys, and we're going to have to fight through guys that are 36th, 35th, and Christopher Bell leads. There's that group of cars that pitted already that are trying to stretch it as far as they can, so we need this to stay green because we're a lap down still. Everyone that has pitted was the ones that stayed out under the last caution, so the majority of the field is still a lap down as we head down this back straightaway. Corey Heim having a terrible day again. Chase Briscoe not looking so good either as we're running down Ty Dillon, as well as a 43 of William Sawalich, who had his mechanical issues earlier, still in the race as you can see. Now we'll pass the colleague driver, and we'll look to the inside of the Legacy Motor Club driver as well on this run into turn 1. Then moments later to the inside of the 98 Briscoe, qualified top 10, top 5 I think it was, and here he is running 32nd, and now actually trouble, and it's our teammate. It's Noah Gregson blowing up into turn 1. Caution is out, and forced onto a lap down is everybody that pitted already. Larson will get the free pass. You're going to notice something that I completely forgot about. The lead lap cars were all pitting, but as I was scrolling through the leaderboard, I am seeing nobody pitting outside of myself and Sheldon Creed. so I didn't even register that all the lead lap cars just pitted. We could have taken the wave around and been on the lead lap from 31st. We wouldn't have gone far, but we just screwed ourselves by just completely forgetting about the lead lap situation. And now it's a 2-lap dash, and we're 37th. I'm confident that if I took the wave around, I could have maybe got to about 20th or so, which is still not racing for much, but I would much rather have 20th than 37th. So I've completely dropped the ball here as we'll get back underway. So now we just have to watch this restart play out. Kyle Larson with the free pass is P11, working his way forward because of the wave around. He didn't have to go to the back. Joey Logano takes the lead from Bell. Coming to the final lap, we're 3 wide in the middle now, and now white flag is in the air. We are bouncing off of cars. Smith to our right, SVG to my left, the 3 wide behind with Zilich as well, as I can see Bubba Wallace as we roll through 1 and 2, and it's all Joey Logano. It wasn't looking good for the 22, but he's found himself back in control down this back straightaway in towards turn 3 for the final time. Logano nearly swept the whole race if he won stage 1. It didn't quite happen, but out of turn 4, Byron, who flipped, is going to finish top 10, but Joey Logano win 37 of his Cup Series career. He's in the playoffs over Alex Bowman and Ryan Blaney, your top 3, as we end up 37th place. And I wish I just simply didn't register things on that stop when I just kept scrolling through the leaderboard and saw nobody pitting. Completely forgot that the lead lap cars had pitted. We could have stayed out, taken the wave around, and obviously things would have worked out pretty well there. We wouldn't have gone and been top 10, top 15, but I do believe we could have maybe got to about 20th or so. Frustrating to say the least. You can see the playoff grid following today from Las Vegas. Kyle Busch, 4 points out of the playoffs as well. Christian Eckes, rumored to maybe be back in the car in Phoenix. Maybe he's going to miss one more race, but he's going to be back either in Phoenix or in the race to follow. Busch are the last driver in the playoffs. And we'll take a look at the regular season standings in the next episode, which is led by Christopher Bell over myself after today. That's going to do it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one from Phoenix. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.